Wow, we've looked at some really great questions over the week. Like, what is God's goodness? Or what does it mean to have friendship with God? We've even looked at some tricky words. I heard someone say that's a masterpiece, and that got me thinking, what exactly is a masterpiece? So, if we need a clever answer, who do we ask? Bruce? No, he'll just ignore it and change the subject completely. Oh, of course, the one and only Angie.
Hi Martha, a masterpiece. What is a masterpiece? Well, I have to say, I cheated and I looked it up on Google. So the definition on the internet is, a masterpiece is an outstanding work of art or craft, or an extremely good example of something, or anything done with masterly skill. So then I thought, well, let's see some examples of masterpieces then. I'm going to turn the camera around so that you can see some of the examples that I found. This is the world's most expensive or valuable painting, and it's called the Mona Lisa. It's very famous, and it was painted by Leonardo da Vinci, and it's worth about £850 million, and it is considered a masterpiece. This is the second most valuable painting in the world, also considered a masterpiece, and this is called Starry Night, and it was painted by Vincent van Gogh, and it's worth well over £100 million. That's a lot of money. This painting is called The Scream. It's the third most valuable or famous painting in the world, and it was painted by Edvard Munch, and it last sold for £73.9 million in 2012. But it's not just paintings that are considered masterpieces, sometimes sculptures are too. So this is a sculpture called Man Pointing, made by Alberto Giacometti, and apparently that is the most valuable sculpture in the world. And this is another masterpiece sculpture, and it was created by Nicolas Laverne, and it's in a French village, and apparently this sculptor is famous for making balancing sculptures that seem to defy gravity. Okay, so it would seem that a masterpiece is anything that is done with amazing skill, created beautifully to the highest possible standard, and that tends to be very valuable. I've been really inspired by seeing all that art and all those masterpieces, so I decided to have a go at making a masterpiece myself. I decided to do a portrait of Bruce, and you know what? It has come out brilliantly. I think it is a masterpiece, and so because of that, I'm going to gift it to you, Bruce, so that you can have it in your house forever. Are you ready for the big reveal, everyone? Masterpiece or what? I am so proud of that. I hope you like it, Bruce. I hope that answers your question, Martha. Back to you.
What a lovely picture. You know, I would buy it. Just think, we could send everyone in the church a copy. Seriously, it's been a really tough few weeks, and we could all do with a good laugh. Anyways, back to the question. I think we'll go straight to Bruce. Although he's going to find it hard, since Angie the all-knowing has said it all. Over to you, Bruce. I'm off to phone Angie about those paintings.
Lovely picture. Thanks very much, Angie. I'll return the compliment. Thanks for the question, Martha. Actually, I do have a lot to say about it, because if you're going to answer a question, the best place to look is the Bible. And there's a wonderful verse in the Bible from Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10. Listen to this, because it says something about masterpieces. Listen to this. For we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus. Basically, it's a brilliant verse, because God talks about masterpieces. We all know, well, we now know what a masterpiece is from Angie. That work of art that's priceless, that's really precious, that's really special, that you put in this lovely frame and you put it on the mantelpiece and you look at it with real pride. Masterpiece. Well, actually, when God talks about making us, he says we are his masterpiece. Another word you might use, in fact, some, depending what Bible you have, they actually say workmanship. He says that he crafts us, he makes us brilliant, wonderful, really, really valuable and special. And sometimes we don't really think about that. Let me put it this way. I have, in this case here, the most precious, the most special, the most valuable, the best masterpiece ever. Shall I show you what it is? Do you think you've worked out what it is? Well, I'm going to open it up and see if you can guess what it is while I take a wee peek. So it won't open up. Oh, there we go. Wow! Absolutely amazing! It's great! This is a true, genuine, proper masterpiece. Shall I show you what it is? It's a mirror. You see, I'm looking at me. A better picture than the one before, may I point out. A masterpiece. Wonderful. Beautiful. Fantastic. Actually, not just me. If you look at yourself, no, that's not working because it's shining back and you're seeing me again. If you look in the mirror, the person looking back, you are the masterpiece. And God says that you are absolutely fantastic. A real workmanship. When I make something, occasionally I like making things out of wood. And when I step back and look at it, I think, wow, I did that. And actually, that's a bit like what God does. When he looks at us, he says, you're my workmanship. You're my masterpiece. If you're my friend, you're my wonderful masterpiece. Incredibly special and valuable. And that's something to really hold on to. That we are God's masterpiece. Shauna's going to help us think about this verse a wee bit more as we think about being God's masterpiece, his workmanship. Shauna.
Now I wonder what we can do this week to help us remember our memory verse. So why don't we have a look in the mirror? Now, we were learning all about us being God's masterpiece. So I've written out the word masterpiece and I thought we could look at ourselves and the word masterpiece. Oh, actually there's something not right here, isn't there? Because we're looking in the mirror, it's backwards. So to put this right, I think we're going to have to go and try and write the word masterpiece backwards. Let's try that. So normally when we go to write something, we start at this side of the page on the left, but today we're going to have to start over here. So if we think about our M first, our M is going to have to go this way. Then our A is going to go backwards too. Let's have a go. Oh, now the S is a tricky one. Backwards S. And our T is going to have to go the other direction. Let's check and see if that looks right in the mirror this time. Masterpiece, much better. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a picture of myself looking in this mirror with this word, and I'm going to put it on the screensaver on my phone to help remind me that I am God's masterpiece. And so are you. So think about where you can put your picture.
Hello God, I'm here to listen.
Hello God, I'm here to listen.
Thank you for making me one of your masterpieces.
Thank you that I am your masterpiece.
Please help me to remember how special I am to you.
And that I am so special to you.
I say yes to you. Amen.
I say yes to you. Amen.